What's going on, guys? It is officially the weekend. It is Saturday the 12th of March, and today we've already been in early doors. We smashed out a boot camp, me and Ryan, down at Shape Changers. It was fantastic to see so many people there. Continue on with the 7-day vlog series. As I said in yesterday's video, I'm going to do a hamstring and ab focus workout for you guys, so stay tuned. And as always, if you haven't already, please like the video, and as always, subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow as a team. So yeah, stay tuned. The first movement I'm going to do in today's workout is going to be on here, the GHD, or also known as the hyperextension. So when I'm using it as GHD, all that stands for is glute ham development. So we're working all down here, so like the posterior chain. However, you can use it for hyperextension to work on your erectors, so your lower back. But because I want to keep it hamstring focused, I'm just going to demonstrate how to do this, because it's all about movement at the hips, even though you're fixed into a machine. But then you want to take this movement and mentality into whether you do like a kettlebell swing or even a deadlift or a Romanian deadlift in the gym. But we're going to do some Romanian deadlifts as well shortly after this. Setting it up, when you're into the machine, knees will be at the bottom and hips will be at the top. However, I like to set it all the way down to the bottom, just so I can maximize the stretch I'm going to get when I'm over the machine, basically. I'll just show you this now. Your feet are going to go in at the back, lock in, knees at the bottom, hips going to go towards these pads. Press your quads into these pads here and just round your back over. Let yourself fall down. Try and get your chest as far to the machine as possible. Stretching the hamstring, so we're really maximizing the stretch here. Then just squeezing your glutes to bring you up. And then come back down again for a stretch in the hamstring. It's not about how high you get. It's just about focusing fully hamstrings and glutes to make sure we're activating and firing up on all them cylinders that we require before we move into some Romanian deadlifts downstairs. So what you'll notice is there's no movement of the spine. I'm not bringing myself up through my lower back, so I'm just keeping it all hamstrings on the way down and loading the hamstrings and the glutes on the way up as much as I can. Getting a good stretch and a good squeeze up. Ooh. So yeah, there wants to be no extension or flexion of the spine when we're just doing it for the GHD purpose of the machine. I'm just going to do another 2 sets on here, 12 reps, just nice control movement, big squeeze on the glutes, make sure I'm firing up. I'm just going to go downstairs and go on to some RDLs next. Moving on to the Romanian deadlifts, which I just mentioned upstairs. I've got my barbell set up. I'm going to start with 60 kilo. I have got a 10 kilo plate, a bumper plate underneath, just to raise me up, so when I come down to the bottom phase of the rep, I can maximize the stretch without hitting the floor. That's all it's there for, is just to lift me up so I can get a better stretch on the way down. If your mobility is not quite there, then you don't need to worry about things like this. You can just keep it barbell and plates, or opt for dumbbells instead to get that stretch. Key thing here, same as upstairs, about using your hips. So you want to load the weight through your glutes and not through your back. Getting a good stretch on the way down. Driving through with your hips at the top. Squeeze the glutes. Get a good stretch in the hamstrings. Come through. Again, same as every movement, all week, slow and controlled on the eccentric. Then you can afford to be a little bit more powerful on the positive, so the concentric phase of the movement. But yeah, really pushing my hips back here, driving through, squeezing the glutes. Keep looking down, so I don't want to change the posture of the spine. For me, a Romanian deadlift is one of the key movements to use in a gym if you want to grow the hamstrings and even get an effectiveness on the glutes as well, because the glutes tie into the hammers nicely. But yeah, just keep that rigid posture, stay braced on the bar so you're not using your spine, especially on the lowering phase where you're going to round over potentially. Just keep it safe. But yeah, this is the Romanian deadlift. Finished up on the Romanian deadlifts and we just did 3 sets of 10 reps. I worked at like a 2 to 3 tempo, so count on the way down, so the eccentric, and I worked at just literally a 1 count coming up, just driving my hips forward, getting a squeeze. Moving on, so the final hamstring we're going to do is a kneeling hamstring curl here on the Hammerstrength. Single leg, I'm just going to really push the volume up, so I'm going to do 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps on each leg. Progressive overloading, just increasing the weight on each set. I'll also look to hold each rep when I got that 90-degree bend in my knee, just to make sure the hamstring is fully contracted and basically just getting the maximum work, and we're not just releasing that contraction straight away. So we're not just blitzing through the movement, we're actually taking time to control what we're doing so we get the most out of the movement. So it's not particularly taxing this movement. It's a very simple exercise to do in the gym compared to the Romanian deadlift, but we make it work for us and we just put as much effort into this as we did the Romanian deadlift. So yeah, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. That is hamstrings done with now, so we're going to move on to core. I'm just going to do 2 exercises. We're going to do some rope cable crunches, and then we're going to go do some work with the ab wheel on a mat upstairs. But yep, first here, just to really fire up the core nicely. It is fired up already because we're doing like Romanian deadlifts and thinking about keeping good stability, good core strength, but just to like load the abs, chasing that 6-pack or whatever. Going to start here. So rope behind. I just like to use the machine to help me stay nice and stable throughout the movement. Put my feet against the frame, and I'm just going to tuck my chin to my chest, round my back over, and then just squeeze each ab as I tuck around, one at a time. Start from my lower work all the way up to my upper ab. So like this, tuck under, and then just open up. Again, each layer at a time. And I'll do 20 reps. Yep, 20 reps on that, and then I'm just going to do another 2 sets, but I'm going to increase the weight because it's quite light, but it's a good primer. Got them warmed up nicely, got a good squeeze, good stretch on each rep. But then yeah, I'm just going to seriously overload it. Keep tight with my elbows tucked in, hands over my shoulders. But yeah, then I'll move on to the ab wheel. Moving on to the last exercise of the day for me. So we just did the rope crunches, 3 sets of that, and then now we're just going to move on to the ab wheel. I'm going to try and do 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Nice control, good stretch out, good crunch on the way in. Key thing with this is when you're moving with the ab wheel that your hips do follow at the same time. Don't leave your hips lagging behind, or else it's just going to get into your lower back. You're going to create a dip, which is going to be quite painful for some people. So make sure your body moves at the same time as if it is attached to the ab wheel itself. So it looks like this. Jeez. That wraps up today's hamstring and ab focused workout. So as you see, I just did 3 exercises on hamstrings and 2 exercises for my core or abs. More than enough, just hit each muscle group efficiently. Hope you enjoyed this one. This is day 6 out of the 7 vlogs. Got one more to do for you guys. Editing's gone really well this week. I hope you've enjoyed the videos. I hope they've been informative. Bit of education there for you guys to help you with your own training. Please leave some feedback in the comment section of any of the 7 videos that I drop. But yeah, if you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.